now to delve more on how the market is doing, including the US. And in the local market, we are joined by Astronacci analyst, Ms. Sai Arati. Ara, thank you so much for joining us here on C today. Hi, thank you. So we've seen how NVIDIA and Apple and Tesla is doing. So what we're looking at on Apple, I mean, they've been with the tariffs right now, and China hasn't have a deal yet with the US. So what we're looking at?
So right now we expect to see Apple to go up for a bit. There will be a peak forming at the 15th of April, and then there will be a short correction there before it goes up to the $235. So the support is 168. As long as Apple doesn't break the support, it will all be fine.
So we're looking at the support at 168 level, and then it's gonna bounce back to what's their worth? 3 trillion rupiah US dollars right there.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, one of the you guys been talking about here that gold gonna reach the 3,000 levels. Now we already surpassed the 3,000 levels. Where are we seeing? Are we gonna see it at 3,200, or where are we gonna end up with gold?
So you remember last time when Dr. Gumaguyardi was here, he said that the first target of us is on 3,105 and 3,150.
Okay.
And now it has surpassed that.
Yes.
And even this morning, gold itself has reached 3,200.
Oh, yes.
So now we are expecting the next upside target is at 3,250 to 3,300. So there will be a vibrational date at 13th of April.
Okay.
It was a full moon, and we believe that there will be a trigger to form a short correction before it goes up again. We have to see that gold needs a bit of correction because price always have a bit of tiredness, and it has to go down for a bit before it goes up again.
Okay, and then you label here on April 13th as evidence there's going to be a correction?
It will trigger, yes, it will trigger a correction for a bit.
All right, so the next thing is we're going to talk about Bitcoin. It was hitting 77,000, and then it looks like the support line you have at 73,000.
Yes.
It looks like it's still going to be bounce back. What's going on with Bitcoin?
So we saw a little of false break here, and most of the time, technically, when we found a false break, price will go up after that. It will bounce crazy. So we have again full moon, and we know based on our data in Astronacci that full moon will trigger a lot of bullish movements in Bitcoin. So that is why we see a short of correction here, and then it will bounce after 13th of April.
And then expected upset targets at 90,000. All right, so it's still in the 90,000 level. We haven't gonna reach the 100,000.
Yes, 120 something, which is the all-time high.
Right. Okay. Now, JCI, it's been rebounding the last couple of days. Are we gonna continue to see a rebound on the JCI performance?
Well, today, if you saw the market, this is what is forming, the very last candle.
Okay.
And this is what Dr. Gumaguyardi drawn for us. A little of gap is formed here, and another one is above here.
Okay.
And before, if you saw, the candle before is going up and form this gap.
Okay.
And there is a gap above and a gap below.
Okay.
And that is how we saw that there's a possibility for the price to go first downwards and then upwards to close this gap, because gaps will always be closed.
Okay.
And overall, we saw this descending broadening range. And as long as it doesn't break this 5,000 something,
600, okay.
It will break up and it will reach the 6,921.
Is there any estimate of when we might actually gonna see those numbers at 6921?
We have never seen when, but Astronacci have a big peak that will always, we have seen that it will form in July because of a sunspot. It was also told by Dr. Gumaguyardi that we have a yearly 11 years of cycle, and it will fall on July. So there's a possibility that it will go up until July.
All right, interesting. Now, one of the stock they're gonna share dividends is mentioned earlier, Mandiri and also BRI.
Yes.
And then we've been looking at this. So where we're seeing it's going for BRI.
Okay, so if you see today's market, candle is going down. It's closing this gap over here, this small gap.
Oh, there's a gap right there. Okay.
Yes, there's a gap here and it is forming a swing high, and we are expecting that this vibrational date, it was before a peak, and now we are expecting this peak to be a bottom.
Okay.
So it will bounce after 15th of April.
Noted.
And the upside target is still 5,000. It's a psychology area. And the support is 3,360. We hope that it will not break.
Not gonna break it. I hope not. I mean, it's been doing well, and then they're gonna do their dividend share by the end of the month, if I'm not mistaken. So they still have time for people to buy on that, and it looks like after April 15th, it's gonna be a good time. Now, one of the things, like I've been looking at the Indofood report. Their fourth quarter is always on a negative term. So what we're looking at, and then like, is this something that people should look into, or like, especially with the dollar right now is going up, and then they still owe a lot of money. So where we're looking at the idea?
Well, there's the possibility that Indofood itself will have a little bit of problem because they export a lot, and one of it is of course America also, and we know that American people also love our Indomie. So that is also something that we should see. But there's a possibility that Indofood will go down a bit. But here, technically, we can see that there's a possibility that it will go above the price right now. The current price is 7,075.
Okay.
And the peak will be formed at the 14th of April. And that will form a bit of correction here. And then it goes up to 8,000. We hope that it will go up again because Indofood have been going down for a little longer. It have been going down since the February of this year. So yeah.
Okay, so it looks like, according to you guys, it looks like on 14 and 15 there's this vibrational date that keep coming up, and then we keep seeing it. So look out on those dates before you do anything. So again, disclaimer for you at home, before you buy or sell any of your stock, please consult with your financial advisor, because this is on the technical levels. And then before you decide to buy or sell, please make sure that you are already know that what you're gonna get into. Again, Ara, thank you so much for sharing here with us on See today.